All right. Good morning, fellow TIs. I'm about to share this video with you all. Some of you who do watch Jeff C, you may have noticed that he hasn't been live for a while. As you see, this was published on August 23rd, 2020. I'm gonna share this video for you all now today. As you may know, I've gave out warnings for fellow TIs. It's very important for us to basically get out of the cities because of what they're doing. Um, but despite that, it puts us in a very difficult situation. It does, because at the same time we're doing our damn best to try to warn many different people. I mean, this is going on for so many years. So many whistleblowers and so many fellow targeted individuals have lost their lives, all because people have been trying to warn everybody else about what's been going on, what these corruptive organizations have been doing. And what do some of these people do? You're just mentally ill. Oh, you don't even know what you're talking about. They just go on with the whole decentralized narrative to basically just keep them asleep, even when people go out of their way so far as to try to help them. This is past the point of fucking around anymore. We've warned people countless amounts of times that this crap was going to happen. We have. Whether they understood that or not, and the people working for them understand what's actually at stake or not, that they're gonna end. If they continue to keep pushing for this, they're gonna find out that they're gonna find out exactly where this is gonna get them, and it's not gonna be pretty. It isn't. People, I ended up going down to the old part of the neighborhood I used to live in, not too far in, because I know how bad it is. But I went close enough to just get a decent idea to see how it's turned out. It's completely gone to shit. It has. Um, the area down there is full. It's just not what it used to be. It's slowly but surely turning into hang on, let me fix that. Into into a more defunded area. It is, and that's bad because it's already a bad. It's already difficult getting a job out here in the first place, and it's not to mention keeping one. I am a bit concerned about Kyle. He is a fellow target individual who is also out here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Um, for myself, I'm definitely getting out of the cities because if you pay attention to the whole narrative of what these corrupt individuals are doing, they're fixing the situation to basically try to force you in the cities. That's what they're doing. They're doing a lot of land grabbing too. To do what? Force people in the cities. They want surveillance all on the outside of the cities to monitor people outside the cities. They want this whole. Basically want to pack everybody into the main cities, like a bunch of pack rats, like a bunch of mice for experimentation. I can't be any more specific than that. That's the truth of what we're dealing with. That's just what it is. The next video that I'm going to upload after this one is going to actually, in fact, there are some other videos I wanted to upload too. There really is. But I'm going to have to work on it. I thought maybe recording over it would be good, but no, not for the. Oh, maybe I should. Maybe I can still do that. I don't know. I'll just have to see how the quality turned out. I'm gonna leave a what's that, a link to this to his to Jeff Sensor's Bitchut, so you all will be able to check this out. I claim no copyright whatsoever. Definitely show some support because these are one of the major platforms that are calling all of this bullshit out that they're doing. I would rather fund people who are basically speaking for truth than to fund anything that's in regard of the corruptive organization. That includes anything that isn't that's on board with the new world agenda. I would rather fund fellow TIs than to fund a fucking corporation. Is what I'm basically trying to say. So anyway, I'm not finna ramble on too much here. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for you all.
What is happening, good people? Jeff C here. Weekend special and Bitchut exclusive. I am locked out of my main channel, Jeff Censored, for 2 weeks. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of uploads to Bitchut, and maybe, in fact, I'm going to try to do my live shows on D Live. I might just switch over now because it seems like the door is closing on ScrewTube. So, yeah, make sure if you can, at least bookmark if you can't subscribe to my Bitchut channel. And I'm not here to endorse other platforms, but beggars can't be choosers, so we're going to do the best that we can with what we got. Alright, so you notice that 2 of California's wildfires are within the top 10 largest in the state history. So 2 is the key number here, and this has been pretty much this year. We've had a twin-demic, right? You know about the twin-demic. We've been talking about it quite a bit over the past few weeks, right? But certainly when we look back, and I was talking about the double-headed monster, which literally order out of chaos sort of thing, right? You had the scamdemic and you had George Floyd, right? So, I mean, George Floyd meaning Black Lives Matter and all the shenanigans that have sprung out of that operation, which they're funding by billions of dollars sort of thing, right? This total deconstruction of America and right around the world, this New World Order, right? So 2 of California's wildfires. Now, my belief is, like, there are real wildfires. Of course there are, right? And they happen all the time. It's a natural cycle of life in the woods sort of thing. But it is my belief that California, along with Australia and other places, are, well, all over the world really, are testing grounds for Agenda 21, in which they want to burn people out of beautiful forested mountain coastal areas and get them all to live in the big cities with the 5G pumping and the mandatory vaccines and the Bill Gates quantum dot tattoos and the facial recognition and the drones and the RoboCop dogs and whatnot, right? This is their vision of how they can sleep better at night. I'm talking about the people that run this world, or if you want to refer to them as subhuman lizard people, by all means. But anyways, so caught this, and then I'm thinking, well, it is the twin-demic, right? So the twin-demic here, bring this over. You see all the stories with twin-demic. Is twin-demic of COVID-19 and flu coming this fall? Coronavirus flu creating fear of twin-demic, 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 twin-demic. You see all the New York Times. So you got your top toilet paper brands here, your fake news, pushing this twin-demic. CBS, if you want to see, if you didn't get enough BS with the New York Times, you can go to CBS to see more BS. You got all over twin-demic, 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 twin-demic. This is how these things work, right? And we'll get the results here thanks to Scroogle that are closer to home sort of thing in the United States for the most part, where all of this rhetoric is coming from. But I'm sure it's similar in Australia and other places in this New World Order. And if you are somewhere else, or UK or Australia or something, pay attention to the narrative of the twin-demic. Why are they pushing this twin-demic? You see in China and other places, they're pushing it here. It looks like Arabic sort of thing. Twin-demic coming this fall. Right? IBC, you should change that around. Well, actually, no, that fits. Bullcrap. So, yeah, COVID-19, you see in France, I guess that's France here, and, you know, all over the world, Hong Kong, places like that. So the twin-demic thing is on in the Twitter-verse shitter. You've got health experts push for flu shots to avoid twin-demic. It's time to put away the anti-vaxxer stuff. Remember who these people are that say this stuff. Always remember them. Never forget for the rest of humanity. It's time to put away the anti-vaxxer stuff and get ready to defend your species. How ironic.
Wait a minute. I did not. Hang on.
What is happening, good people? Jeff C. here. Black people that are brought into the New World Order, it's usually through Freemasonry. That's one of their... So the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, is where this whole BLM thing kicked off, right? And what did George Floyd say? Well, George Floyd had a twin. And who is his twin? It was Steven Jackson, who is an NBA player. A lot of people think they look identical and that Steven Jackson might actually be playing the role of George Floyd. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter because it's all part of their machinations. So it doesn't, to me, it's all just their scam, right? But George Floyd has a twin. Here's the New York Times. Steven Jackson was known as an NBA agitator. Now he's leading the movement. Oh, isn't that ironic? Right? Just like that. Steven Jackson came out and said he wanted to see all of Minnesota burned because it's full of white people. So he was in favor. He's all on board. He said he was all on board with Minnesota being burned to the ground. But he said not Atlanta because that's a chocolate city, right? And of course, nobody bats an eyelash, or really bats an eyelash. Nobody really covers it in the Beast media because, white people are bad and black people are the greatest thing since sliced bread. Of course, it's all part of their divide and conquer and how they're destabilizing and destroying the foundation of constitutional America. So yeah, you've got the twin here and the videos that come with it, right?
By the way, I'm Mia Bradley. We continue now with so many people who are remembering Floyd. Former NBA player and Texas native Steven Jackson calls Floyd a brother and remembers the time they spent together here in Houston. Marcelina Benito spoke to Jackson about their longtime friendship.
I spoke with former NBA player Steven Jackson today. He called George Floyd...
All these people that work for the Beast never forget who they are and never forgive. That's all I can say. Because if you work for the Beast, you are an enemy of humanity.
His twin brother. The two spent a lot of time here in Houston, and Jackson told me he is now making it his life's mission. Twin brother. The two spent a lot of time here in Houston. I spoke with former NBA player Steven Jackson today. He called George Floyd his twin brother. The two spent a lot of time here in Houston, and Jackson told me he is now making it his life's mission to get justice for his twin.
When I saw him, our first question when we saw each other was like, who your dad? Who your dad? That was we looked that much alike, and from that conversation, we just hit it off.
Anytime Steven Jackson...
Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. People. I've seen that fucker before. I have. I not in person. But I've literally seen that guy before. I have. This guy, they knew he was basically related to NBA. Yeah, the video that he was on, that he was mentioned on, they mentioned that. They did. But this was dealing with a situation of him talking about like how he avoided a marriage that was actually a scam. That was the last time I've actually seen that guy's face. So free. I would have never guessed it was him. That's so fucked up. Damn.
Jackson came to Houston. The Third Ward was his first stop. Big Floyd, his first call. They were alike in so many ways.
He was an athlete. He wanted to make it to the pros of football and basketball. He just didn't have the same opportunities that I had.
Our young generation is clearly lost, man.
New video shows Floyd encouraging the younger generation to stop gun violence. Jackson says that's who Floyd was, always pushing to be better. He moved to Minnesota for a fresh start.
He was focused on getting his job, making his money, and changing his life.
He never imagined that's where it would end.
And I should point out, for people that don't know this,
The porn industry that he was in. Is that it, or is it something else?
this is how they do these things. It's how they do it, folks. You have to understand the symbolism is always in your face. Corona, right? And he's not the only one, of course. What can I show you as well? Well, I can say something like the guy that kicked off the whole thing, Kobe Corona. Because where was he buried? Well, he was buried at Corona Del Mar. So the whole thing kicked off with Kobe. That's why I call it the Kobe virus. Because actually, That's another reason why I call it the Kobe virus. Do you know this? Because Google Translate. So if you take COVID and you translate it into Hebrew, and then you take the Hebrew text from that and you translate it back to English, guess what it translates into? Of course, you can't make this SHIT up. It translates back to Kobe. So that's why I call it the Kobe virus.
Well, damn, that someone else was doing that, but for some reason they came up with the term psyop. I don't know why, or maybe they were just calling it a psyop, which it actually is. Now, there's a lot of stuff related to this guy, that George Floyd character. There's a lot of corruption going on there. I know they mentioned some of the stuff that that he was in, but like when you see that you get to easily tell the media is full of shit, man. You can easily tell they're full of shit because they should at least know by now, without a doubt, how many people are being harmed due to this mass confusion that they're promoting. They should know. But anyway, in other situations, fellow TIs, definitely do what you can. But my highest recommendation for everybody is to just please get out of the city if you can, if at all possible. Do gather up some gear, do something, if anything that you can possibly can, if you have the option to do it. But I know they make it very difficult for TIs to do this. Maybe not leaving off the grid, but definitely, from earning a living. People, this is why I'm abandoning this system for what it is. I see what it's doing, and I know what it's about. This is why I'm just done with it. If we're gonna really fix this situation to really, get out of this, it's only gonna. You can't depend on the government. You can't depend on the media to do the right thing, because when have they ever done the right thing? The only time they've ever done something that was right at all is if it fits into their narrative. Only if it basically does something that they want to basically either see. They'll even do something to try to gain the public's favor, but at the same time they're doing that, they're doing something else to basically either line their own pockets or just position, certain officials who they want in positions of power. That's how they roll, man. They do not give a fuck about the people. They don't. And then we got these idiots on the streets who just fall in line right with them. It's very difficult to really get anything seriously done when you got a corruption this bad like this, man. All these people who ended up homeless throughout these years, that shit wasn't done normally. That shit was systematically done. But they will never tell you that. They won't tell you that this fucked up, sorry ass piece of a system that they got has been designed to basically cut people off immediately who they don't want ever rising into a career-based. They saw how I was working, and I'm the type of worker who basically do not fuck around. I get shit done, and I stay on point with my job. I don't go to work to basically fuck around with women. I don't mind fucking around with women, but not at the job. I've seen other, they tend to play favorites of other people. So I guess it must be a fear of overstepping or something like that. People who rise a lot, everybody who rise above ladders and shit. I think like there's an unseen fear about that. And then when they see that kind of potential and they see that that's a person they can't control, they don't like that. This is why you will never see a president. This is why you will never see any kind of senator. Someone who is not in control, someone who they can't control will never be president. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. There's no way, and I'm just going to say it for what it is. This is why I've never voted at all. I've never voted. Not even once in my entire lifespan. I never voted because I always believed that there was corruption on both sides. And then I stumbled on the fact that, both sides are controlled by the same shit. It's unseen, but it's still there. Man, here's what I'm getting at. If Trump is really out for the beneficent for the people, and I'm just gonna call this out for what it is. I know some of you may be Trump supporters, some of you are trying to fight for freedom, but look, you really, really cannot be just falling anything for the government, man. You can't. You need to understand when everything falls down, that guy has a freaking shelter to go to, an underground bunker. Do you have an underground bunker? No. We cannot put our hopes and our dreams in the hands of these elected officials. We can't do it because they are controlled. It may not seem like it. You may not see it at first, but I'm telling you now, they are controlled. Okay? There may be some teams playing for different sides. There was one thing that was mentioned out about these corruptive organizations, how they was basically a petty fight over for money and for basically the control structure of this whole scam that's going on. I believe any type of one-sidedness that we're seeing, one side against the other, I believe that's what it is. There's many different sides of this corruptive organization, which is supposed to be a whole, but they're basically bickering over who gets control of what. You don't see it, but you need to understand the consequences behind this bullshit. It's the people who are suffering because of this damn bickering. It's the people who are losing their businesses, the people who are losing their livelihoods, the people who are having their families taken away from them. Because, yeah, they did say they were trying to come up and basically take both your kids and you away, coming up with some bogus-ass excuse. You already know it's fake. You know it's fake bullshit. You know all of this is fake. Look, man, the only way you're ever going to have change, don't look to the government for change. Don't, because the government has been the problem since day one. They have never been the solution. Never. Same with the police, unfortunately. I'm not saying defund the police. I'm just saying get some people in there who are not going to be so fucking corrupt. You don't have to defund the police. Just get the people out of that fucking force who are being paid off. That's simple. Get people in there who are actually going to do their damn job and not fuck around with the mob. Because that's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with those cops, those corruptive cops. They work right hand in hand with the mob. Same with the gang stalkers. Same with the street patrol. Same with Did you know? Did you? And think about TIs. Think about this. I don't even know if any of the TIs have ever made this connection. Think about it. Gang stalkers they literally work hand in hand with the mob, right? They do. Police work hand in hand with the mob. Who the fuck do you think Neighborhood Watch works hand in hand with? People, Neighborhood Watch works with the mob. Neighborhood Watch is the same assholes who are gang stalkers. Bet you didn't know that. Yeah, they supposed to be the ones, their excuses, we're here to keep the peace. Bullshit. If you're working for an organization that's basically saying this on public television, saying how they're gonna basically come in and take you away, or you or your kids or your family and shit, or your grandparents, you must be on crack, or you're either that much insane, or you're just being controlled or paid off. No fellow target individual is crazy. No fellow target individual is mentally ill. None of that. They tell you this stuff. They'll say that about a TI to basically try to prevent that person from telling you the truth, prevent people from understanding what's going on, and that's the whole scam that they've been doing, to basically prevent people from knowing what's really going on. And so many people have suffered because of this. People, it is time to wake the fuck up. Wake up. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your family. They only care about themselves. Nobody else. That includes the people who even work for them. They're just as dumb as the rest, and they'll end up putting themselves in in a huge predicament to where they can't get back out of. That's how that is. Man.
All right, this massive scamdemic. But it shows you over and over again all the different things, the symbolism, the the omnipresent sort of, right, coincidences, which obviously can't be coincidences. It's part of their New World Order. So the Twin Cities, and of course you had George Floyd having the Order Out of Chaos tattoo here. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. So it doesn't come in too well here, but he's got the two-headed eagle here with the 33, because most of, when it comes to the NBA and the black people that are brought into the New World Order, it's usually through Freemasonry. That's one of their major sort of secret societies that they bring these people into the fold. And there you go. So he did have, indeed, this Order Out of Chaos tattoo on him with the twin eagle, the two-headed eagle, and the 33, of course. Right? 33 is a twin itself, 3-3. And so you'll see this manifest over and over again. So we got twin hurricanes, twin fires, the two largest fires in California history. We got George Floyd and his twin Stephen Jackson happening in the month, of course, in the month of Gemini, or in the constellation sort of Gemini, right? I know it's not typically a month, but it's, right, whatever the Gemini here, 21st of May to the 21st of June, right? The celestial sort of season. And then, of course, right, you've got the twins, the twin cities, the twin hurricanes, the twin-demic, all over. And I showed a video a couple nights ago here about this. This was the video that I showed, and TMF has uploaded it to his channel here. TMF Productions, and I showed this on the live stream on Friday, in which they were discussing the twin-demic. So what are they trying to do, aside from, have everything fall into their their celestial sort of patterns, is that they want to indoctrinate people to take vaccines, period. Right? So they want you to believe that if you don't get vaccinated, you have a double threat. So if you don't get vaccinated for the flu, and you get the flu, you could get the corona, you could die, and all this stuff, right? So they're saying, oh, it's double, double your pleasure, double your fun, double whammy sort of thing. And then what they're going to do, and they're already doing it, is coming down hard on people that don't get the flu vaccine. And pretty soon, because vaccines are being mandated everywhere, it's not even mandatory, it's more compulsory, right? So like mask wearing is compulsory now. It went from being optional to, right, mandatory, now to compulsory. This is how they do it. And here we are with the twin-demic full force.
After many months now, we're all too familiar with the word pandemic. Now, a new word is coming our way that health experts are warning about. It's what they're calling a twin-demic. And our 9 health expert, Dr. Powell.
Never forget who these people are. Never forget who they are. Never. Never forgive, never forget.
He joins us to tell us more about what that is. So let's get right to it. What is a twin-demic, and why is this so concerning?
So, Tom, a twin-demic is exactly how it sounds. It's essentially the...
And she is wearing the Ebola green sort of coloring, right? It's akin to the green screen sort of covering, which I covered massively in 2014. In fact, I made international news around the world because I was exposing how they were using this color to program people into fearing Ebola. Colors often are used to invoke certain reactions from people, right? And a sort of neon toxic green is often used as like, ooh, a disease and something, right? So if you were to look up and say, I don't know how much of my work would still be around, but I'll just say Ebola, whoop, I say Ebola, I call it the Ebola, of course, Ebola green. And how
People, Remember how these perps use color harassment on all TIs. Now you know why.
They use this same color. Ebola is real, protect yourself. And they were using this everywhere. In fact, when they kicked off the event, Thomas Eric Duncan, the guy that has more names than shirts, this is the only thing you'll ever see him wearing, which is this coloring of green. This, I believe, here, this was the kickoff for the whole sort of thing. So they had a party sort of thing celebrating that. And look at the color of the drinks and the... This was all my work back in 2014, showing the world how they use colors to program you, like news flashes like this. It was insane. Like, there wouldn't be a news segment that you wouldn't catch with a woman in a green dress or a black man in a green dress. And that's one of the methods of powerful sort of mind control that is used. And I don't know, this could be incidental, but nonetheless, there she is promoting these people. This is the crime of the century. There's no question about it, folks. We are in thick here with this NWO, and they want to stick whatever they've got into your bodies. Make no mistake about this. This is where you're going to have to draw the line in the sand, because they are going to force people to take this. And I'll put that in for a second here, just to show you the rhetoric that's coming forth. No jab, no, look at that, right, it comes right up. No jab, no pay. Sydney Morning Herald. So it spreads like a disease from New Zealand now to, I guess, to Australia. No jab, no pay, right? We'll look in the news here. And coronavirus, Australia. Laws surrounding governments or employees making a vaccine mandatory. Right? No jab, no pay could apply to COVID-19 vaccine. So they're going to starve you. This is how evil our governments are. They're going to say anti-vaxxers who refuse to get coronavirus jab could be banned from restaurants. They're going to ban you from everywhere. They're going to say if you don't have your COVID pass or your Bill Gates quantum dot tattoo, you're not going to get access to anything. I've never seen anything so evil in all my life. I'm sorry that we're all going through this. This is really spectacular, terrifying tyranny that we're witnessing. It's really out of this world. And it was, what's her name? Arden. I think that's Ardern, if I pronounced it right. There she is. Ardern. You better wake your ass up. And saying no jab, no pay is the rhetoric that's coming forth. Irish minister resigns. They're going to set the example. PM Jacinda Ardern rules out no jab, no pay policy adopted in... No, she said no jab, no pay. She said that the other day. That's September the 3rd, 2019. So she ruled that out. That was, I guess, for flu or something like that. Now she's actually pushing that. No jab, no pay. Right? I don't know why they're showing this article from September the 3rd, 2019, because she just said it. Here it is. Yep. Australia's health minister just said it as well. I don't know why she's not coming up in the videos, but this is what they're gonna do. This is the tyranny that we're facing. That we have no control over what our governments put into our body. How insane is that? You think you had freedom. You think you had rights. You think you had a constitution that protected you. But they're sweeping that all aside in the most evil, tyrannical, abominable tyranny that we have ever witnessed in the history of the world. I would go that far. Because if this goes global... and they make everybody in every country, or as many people as they can, and they starve people, and they destroy people because they refuse to get this frickin' stupid-ass vaccine for a disease that, according to their numbers, is killing like a fraction of 1%. Comparable to what the seasonal flu does. People need to take a stand. And they need to stand up to this now. Do not sleep on this. Because pretty soon, they'll be coming to your door. And Trump says warp speed. And that his military is going to do this in a very powerful manner, that the military is going to be in charge of giving out the vaccines to all Americans. Rainbow Unicorn Land, up where I live, ordered 37 million vaccines. How many people live in Rainbow Unicorn Land? Well, 37 million. How much did Trump order? 500 million. Because they probably anticipate a lot of people breaking the vials fighting against it, so they ordered extra. So, yeah, anyways, it's crazy. I hope you're hanging in there. I hope you're having a nice weekend. And, if you like my work, I hope maybe you can come and support me on Patreon. We're getting destroyed. I mean, everybody's getting hit. Channels are going down left, right, and center. I'm on suspension now with Jeff Censored. So we have to do our best to navigate these very difficult waters. So your support is more important than ever and more appreciated than ever. Huge thanks to all the patrons. Thanks to everybody for supporting my work. And fight the good fight. Be the change you want to see. Stand up to this tyranny. Call it out. Call it out. And God bless you all. See you on the next one.
All right, so I'm gonna leave a excuse me. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you all to get directly to there. Man, for fellow TIs, this is the week that I will be leaving off grid. If you didn't know, my warning still remains the same. You know, get out of the cities while you can, if at all possible. It's a fellow target individual by the name of Wayne Morris. He's going through definitely send your prayers out to him, because he's definitely going through a rough time, as well as any other Australian target individual that's out there too. They put them under a lockdown that's, I believe, is for like around like 3 to 4 weeks. It's bad for a TI specifically because we don't really go out much, considering, you know, the targeting, the gaslighting and stuff like that. It's usually much worse for a TI who has to be outside all the time. You know, due to the sabotage that they do, it gets so bad. You know, I can only imagine, because there's probably TIs who are even worse shape than any of us. Way, way worse shape. I can't imagine what they must have been through. I just can't. After some of the videos on Twitter that I've seen, dude, like, it's the fact that I'm seeing someone throw some firecrackers at a homeless man, that shit, that I'm like, mm-mm. I hope I'm getting through to people to, you know, for other fellow TIs to understand, you know, the significance of this and how bad it's really getting. I want to maybe build like a settlement area or something like that, off grid for fellow TIs. But at the same time, I'm trying to debate on how to go through with that. First off, you need the manpower to do it. That's one thing. I mean, I'm only one guy. I could get it started, but like, it's no telling when it's going to be finished. It's no telling how much progress that one person's going to make on it. You never know. Now, from what we noticed, they do use laser type weapons, so it would be good to have this thing underground, or at least like built in. I'd say like built into the, somewhat built into like a tunnel or something like that. Have it fixed to where you have many different support beams and structures, just to be safe. Make more than one exit out of there too, just to be on the safe side. I don't think they can get through that with these weapons. I don't believe they can. But you never know. Considering the situation, this stuff can go through certain structures. Funny thing though, directed energy weapons cannot go through plywood. Who'd have figured that? I know some of you are like, wait, are you serious? Well, there was a fellow. Now, here's the thing. Look this up for yourself. Don't take my word for it, okay? Fellow TI had a piece of plywood, and well, turns out that They had to beam through the damn thing to send a hole through it just to get, just to shoot it in, just to shoot it through. They had to beam straight through it, and he wouldn't be the only one who said that like that shit blocks directed energy. It's not that they can't burn through it, but they gotta focus it just to burn through it. The fact that they can burn through wood should concern you. It should, because dude, they've used this stuff to set cars on fire. They use this shit to basically set a lot of stuff on fire. It's been shown that they can basically even send lightning up from the ground. It's been shown that they even have military-based vehicles of that. The whole blueprint got not the exact blueprint, but the whole model of it, what it looks like, was leaked, so people know what to look for in the sky. And sure enough, people have been seeing those exact shaped crafts in the sky. Triangle shaped crafts. All built for basically weaponizing weather. This is what's been happening with the whole fires that you've been recently seeing. This is what's been happening with a lot of stuff, I want to help so many TIs, but it's best I can. But I honestly don't even. The only thing I can best do is try to find as many TIs as I can and share the information that I've gathered thus far to help them out. Find the TIs who I've yet to find online, see what I can do about that. But in the meantime, I still got some other things I got to do, but I'm not gonna allow that to fully sidetrack me from helping people out in these dark times, man. Because the most important thing people need to understand, this is what I've been saying too, TIs, you need to deprogram yourself from these tactics that they're using. If they do color harassment on you, stop. The whole point of why they do that is because they want you to look at that and say, oh, well, that's definitely a perp. Anybody could wear any colored shirt, okay, and walk out, and you would not know if that person really is a perp or not. Sure, these perpetrators make it quite easily when they use their methods, but you see that the one main thing that they always do, and remember this, they blend in with the public. They always do that. When you realize that, you need to understand all their tactics is nothing but deceptive. All of it. Don't pay them no mind. Don't pay them no attention. And I know that's more easier said than done, but it is possible to do that. Excuse me. Once you start to do that, it makes it more difficult for them to program you. It really does. And but another thing, I've lost track of how many times they tried to set me up, dude. I've lost track, but I really am thankful for the Most High. I really am. I am really thankful for God, because there's so many times where that could have just been the end for me, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. I'm just so grateful. I may not know what my purpose was, for me to be given this life that I have, but I'm at least grateful to at least have met so many wonderful TIs out there. I wish we could have, other fellow TIs. I wish we could have met at least online under different circumstances, and it didn't have to be this. This didn't have to exist. This didn't have to be happening to people. I wish we all could have met under different circumstances. I truly do. Maybe stuff that's a little bit more on the lighter side. And I wish this targeting program never existed in that situation. I truly do. But here we are, dealing with this. This is as real as it gets. And we got to warn people as much as we can so that they don't fall for this bullshit. Any good method that really works to basically detoxify a person from this mess, to get this junk out of their systems. And here's the thing. I'm just going to say it for what it is. I can detox, right? I can use the barrel that you all seen. Problem is, the water that I'm using is fluoridated because it's coming through the drain pipes. You cannot put fluoridated water in your food. You cannot put it in your drinking water. You cannot shower with fluoridated water because the fluoridation that's in that water, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was meant to attack the pineal gland for one thing. It does, the fluoride does fuck with that. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I also think that the fluoride, you know, helps make the body more absorbent to heavy metals. I could be wrong about that, but that's another thing that I'm speculating on too, because I did see something about that they were doing to actually cause that. Um, Now, when you go off grid or whatever, and you basically stop using the city's water, which they're putting fluoride in, you stop eating the food which they put all these unnecessary chemicals in, and you really change your stuff around, you will start eventually filtering this junk out of your system. You can do, you know something? Nano is in your pores, underneath the skin. So what do you think is going to happen if you start sweating? That's right. The more you sweat, the more this nanotech gets removed out of your body. I thought sauna would be like one of the best ways to do this. It could be, but just naturally working, and this is why they don't want you working out. You ever notice like they try to make you super tired, not wanting to do anything with these, when they're hitting you with these weapons and stuff. You ever notice that? Because they don't want you to, basically work up a sweat. They don't want you to do that because working up a sweat is what's going to cause this stuff to get removed. I know this because I used steam before and it really pissed these guys off. It was able to it was able to really fuck with their connections. It really did. So TIs, that's one other good thing you can use. You can use steam to help break that control mechanism and help you detox as well, if at all possible. But I will warn you, be careful with steam because under certain temperatures, steam can actually hurt like no tomorrow. So anyway, how long did I go with this? Like 40 something, almost 50. I'm gonna end this video here. As always, stay safe, stay strong, everybody.